Elise scanned the readings. If we can override the core systems, maybe we can power a surge strong enough to break through the blockade. Marek's fingers flew over controls, sweat dripping down his brow. It's risky, but it's our only shot. Liam stared wide-eyed at the reactor, its glow casting long shadows on the cramped vessel's walls. For the first time, he felt a strange calm, as if the ocean was whispering promises of freedom. Memories surfaced, his lost childhood, Marek's protection, and the yearning for a life above the waves. Suddenly, a distant rumble echoed through the chamber. "They're coming," Marek warned. "We have to hurry." Elise nodded. "On my mark now." With a surge of energy, the submersible systems roared back to life. The reactor pulsed violently, sending a shockwave through the water. Outside, the hunters faltered, their equipment scrambling to cope with the unexpected surge. The vessel shook, propelled upward by a powerful burst of energy. Liam pressed his forehead against the cold glass, tears mixing with the seawater fogging the viewport. "We're going home." But the ocean is patient, and the battle far from over. The submersible jolted as it surged upward, cutting through the crushing depths with a ferocity born of desperation. Outside, the water roared past the viewport like a dark, furious river. Elise clung to the controls, her knuckles white, her breath ragged. If the hull breaches now, we're done for. Marek's eyes burned with grim determination. "We're almost there." "Hold steady." Liam pressed his face against the glass, watching as beams of light pierced the darkness, revealing glimpses of coral and wreckage long forgotten. Back on the surface, the research vessel's crew watched anxiously. Sarah Harper's voice cracked over the radio. "Come in, Oceanus 1. We're tracking you. Hold on." But below, the shadowy hunters unleashed everything they had. Jets of electric pulses crackled through the water, designed to disable and destroy. The submersible convulsed under the onslaught. Sparks flew. Lights dimmed. Elise gasped, fighting to keep control. "We're losing power." Suddenly, the submersible broke through the waves, gasping air like a drowning man finally finding breath. Above, the storm had calmed, and the sky was a pale, fragile blue. The ocean stretched endless and open, freedom within reach. But as the crew cheered, a silent figure watched from the shoreline, eyes cold and calculating. "The secret lives on," the figure whispered. The submersible broke through the waves like a wounded beast gasping for air. Salt spray hit the viewport as Liam blinked against the sudden sunlight, the first in 13 years. On deck, Sarah Harper rushed forward, tears streaming down her face. "Liam, you're alive." The reunion was raw and breathless. Sarah wrapped him in a trembling embrace, whispering promises and apologies tangled with relief. Marek stood back, watching quietly, the weight of years etched into his face. His eyes flicked to the horizon, uneasy. Detective Reynolds arrived, eyes sharp as ever. "We're far from safe. Someone doesn't want this story told." On the shoreline, the shadowy figure observed through binoculars. "They have him," they muttered. "But the game isn't over." Back on the ship, Liam's gaze settled on Marek. "Why did you save me?" Marek hesitated, then spoke quietly. "Because no one else would. Because this place, it stole our childhoods." As questions hung heavy in the salty air, one thing was clear. The ocean had not given up its secrets yet. Detective Reynolds paced the cramped briefing room aboard the research vessel, the low hum of the ship's engines a constant reminder of their fragile safety. "We have proof now," Reynolds said, spreading maps and sonar scans across the table. Oceanus wasn't just abandoned, it was a secret prison. And someone's gone to extreme lengths to keep it that way. Sarah Harper leaned forward, voice trembling. "But who? And why kidnap a child like Liam?" Marek's eyes darkened. Because Liam's disappearance wasn't an accident. It was part of a cover-up. As the crew plotted their next moves, dark clouds gathered over the ocean, mirroring the storm brewing beneath the surface. Meanwhile, Liam grappled with fragmented memories, flashes of fear, of loneliness, of Marek's quiet strength. Each memory was a shard of a life stolen. Late at night, he stared at the pendant Sarah had given him, a small charm from his childhood home, now a fragile link to a past that felt like a dream. Outside, the ocean whispered, carrying secrets older than time, and enemies watching, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The night air was thick with tension as the research vessel bobbed quietly on the ocean's surface. Inside, Liam lay restless, haunted by nightmares of dark corridors and silent watchers. Suddenly, the ship's alarm shattered the stillness. Red lights flashed and voices barked orders. "Breach on the lower deck," a crew member shouted. "Someone's trying to get in." Detective Reynolds grabbed his gun, moving swiftly toward the breach. Sarah clutched Liam's hand, her eyes wide with fear. From the shadows, a figure emerged, cloaked in black, movements precise and deadly. Merrick stepped forward, positioning himself between the intruder and the others. "You won't take him again." A tense standoff ensued, breaths held, hearts pounding. In that moment, Liam felt something shift inside. A surge of courage, a determination to fight back. The intruder hesitated, then vanished into the night, leaving behind a chilling message scrawled on the bulkhead, "The ocean remembers." Liam's gaze hardened. The past was coming for him, but this time he would face it head-on. Morning light filtered weakly through the vessel's portholes, casting long shadows over the crew's tired faces. The tension from last night still hung thick in the air. Detective Reynolds gathered everyone in the cramped conference room, his voice low but urgent. "We've got 'em all. Someone here is feeding information to the hunters." Whispers erupted, suspicion darting like sparks among the crew. Eyes flicked nervously from face to face. Sarah's hand trembled as she gripped Liam's. "Who could it be?" Marek's gaze was grim. "Someone who wants to keep Oceanus' secrets buried, no matter the cost." Liam stared at the pendant around his neck, the weight of his lost childhood pressing down like the ocean depths. As the crew began their silent hunt for the traitor, Liam's mind churned with memories, fragments of faces, voices, moments he couldn't place. Then, a sudden realization hit him. The betrayal was closer than anyone suspected. In the shadows of the research vessel, old alliances shattered, and the line between friend and foe blurred into the swirling waters of lies. The research vessel's corridors felt colder now, every glance heavy with suspicion. Liam's heart hammered as he followed Merrick toward the ship's communications room, where Reynolds awaited with grim news. "We traced unauthorized transmissions," Reynolds began, voice clipped. "The mole's been leaking our coordinates to the hunters." The room held its breath, eyes darting nervously. Suddenly, the hatch hissed open, and Dr. Carlson, the mission's lead scientist, stepped in, face pale but defiant. "I know what you're thinking," he said, voice steady. "But I had no choice." Marek's gaze hardened. "Explain." Carlson swallowed, then confessed in a low voice. "They threatened my family. I never wanted Liam harmed. I only wanted to buy time." Shock rippled through the crew. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. "You betrayed us, and him." Liam looked away, pain cutting deep. The man he trusted, now part of the shadow that had stolen his life. But as Carlson's story unfolded, a new threat emerged, darker and closer than they'd ever imagined. The atmosphere aboard the vessel was thick with distrust. Whispers curled through the halls like a poisonous mist, corroding once strong bonds. Sarah sat alone in the mess hall, staring blankly at a cup of cold coffee. Her thoughts churned. How could someone betray them, risk everything, even Liam's safety? Merrick paced restlessly on the deck, scanning the horizon. "We can't trust anyone fully now," he muttered. "Not even ourselves." Liam struggled to reconcile the betrayal with his fragile hope. The man who saved him in the ocean, the friends who fought to bring him home, and now this crack in their armor. Suddenly, a low-frequency pulse from the ocean depths interrupted their thoughts. The ship's systems flickered. The ocean was sending a message. Reynolds' voice cut through the tension. "They're coming. And this time, it's not just hunters. Something else." Outside, dark clouds rolled in, swallowing the horizon. The ocean itself seemed to roar its warning. The ocean's surface churned violently beneath a steel-gray sky, mirroring the storm brewing in the hearts aboard the research vessel. Inside the control room, Monitors flickered as unusual seismic readings blipped relentlessly. The crew's faces tightened with dread. "Something massive is moving below," Merrick announced, eyes locked on the sonar screen. "It's no hunter, this is something ancient." Liam's pulse quickened as the vessel rocked from a sudden tremor, the steel groaning under unseen pressure. Sarah gripped the edge of a console. "What is it? What do they want?" Reynolds frowned. "We're trespassing in a domain best left undisturbed." Outside, beneath the waves, shadows stirred, colossal and unknowable. A presence that seemed to pulse with the ocean's very heartbeat. As the vessel's lights dimmed and the crew braced for impact, Liam felt a chilling truth settle in his bones. The ocean's secrets were alive, and they had not forgiven the intrusion. The research vessel pitched violently as monstrous waves battered its hull. Inside, alarms screamed and lights flickered erratically. Merrick barked orders, voice steady despite the chaos. "Seal all compartments. Prepare for emergency maneuvers." Liam's heart thundered in his chest as he stared out into the dark ocean, where eerie shapes writhed beneath the surface, neither fish nor machine, but something far more terrifying. Sarah's hand found his, grounding him. "We're going to get through this. Together." Deep inside, a strange sensation blossomed in Liam, a connection to the ocean's pulse, as if the waters themselves recognized him. Suddenly, the vessel shuddered as an unseen force gripped it, trying to drag it beneath the waves. Reynolds shouted over the din, "We're caught in a maelstrom. Power's failing." With every ounce of will, Liam fought the rising panic, focusing on the fragile hope Merrick had given him years ago. The storm raged, but somewhere deep within, the boy who vanished 13 years ago was awakening to a new destiny. As the vessel groaned beneath the relentless assault, Liam closed his eyes, feeling the surge of the ocean's rhythm pulsing through his veins. A warmth spread from his chest outward, a glow, faint but growing, casting light in the darkness. Merrick and Sarah watched in awe as Liam stepped toward the viewport, hands raised like a conductor directing a symphony of waves and wind. Slowly, the violent storm began to calm, the monstrous waves retreating as if answering Liam's silent call. Reynolds lowered his weapon, disbelief etched across his weathered face. How is this possible?" Liam opened his eyes, now shimmering with an otherworldly blue. "The ocean never let me go. It's been teaching me." Outside, the depths settled into an uneasy peace, but a new understanding hung in the salty air. Liam was no ordinary boy. His disappearance had been the beginning of something much larger, a connection between man and sea, light and darkness. The ocean surface shimmered, rippling as if breathing. Suddenly, a massive shape rose from the depths, a colossal figure, part human, part ancient sea creature, eyes glowing like molten gold. The crew froze in awe and terror as the Guardian's voice echoed, deep and resonant, through the ship's hull. "You who trespass in sacred waters, why do you awaken the past?" Liam stepped forward, heart steady, voice clear. "I was taken lost, but the ocean saved me. I want to understand, to make things right." The Guardian's gaze softened, ripples of sadness washing over the waves. "You carry the ocean's memory. You are the bridge, the hope to restore balance." In that moment, Liam's fragmented memories became whole. The accident, Marek's rescue, the experiments, the betrayal, all part of a larger tide pulling him toward this destiny. The Guardian extended a hand, offering both warning and hope. Return the stolen secrets, heal the wounds of the deep, or be consumed by the abyss. The Guardian's massive hand retreated beneath the waves, leaving the ocean calm but charged with ancient power. Liam turned to the crew, determination burning in his eyes. "We have to fix what was broken, return the stolen knowledge, stop those hunting the ocean's secrets." Merrick nodded solemnly. "We'll stand with you. But time is running out." Sarah pulled together the scattered crew members, her voice steady despite the exhaustion. "This is more than survival. It's a chance to make things right." The vessel sailed toward the coordinates the Guardian had shared, a hidden abyss deep beneath the Atlantic, where forgotten secrets slept in darkness. Every mile brought new dangers, unstable currents, hidden reefs, and the ever-present threat of those who wanted to exploit the ocean's power for themselves. Liam felt the weight of the years he lost, but also the hope of the future, a future he could help shape. The research vessel anchored on the edge of the abyss, where sunlight surrendered to a crushing darkness. The crew prepared their submersible pods, the only link between the fragile ship and the unknown depths below. Liam's fingers brushed the cold metal of his pod, a mix of fear and resolve flooding his chest. As they descended, the pressure mounted, and eerie bioluminescent creatures illuminated the abyss like ghostly lanterns. Inside the pods, silence reigned, broken only by the steady hum of machinery and the pounding of hearts. Suddenly, the sonar picked up rhythmic pulses, signals, almost like a heartbeat, guiding them deeper. The walls of the abyss revealed ancient ruins, remnants of a civilization lost to time, covered in coral and seaweed. Liam's breath caught as symbols etched into stone walls seemed to pulse with a mysterious energy, resonating with the ocean's song within him. Marek's voice crackled over the comms. "We're not just diving into darkness, we're entering a forgotten world." Outside, shadows moved, watchers from the deep, guardians of secrets that mankind had no right to uncover. The submersibles glided silently through the cold, ink-black waters, their floodlights cutting through the darkness to reveal towering pillars and broken statues encrusted with centuries of coral. Liam's eyes were wide, reflecting the ghostly glow of glowing algae that swirled in the still water like a mystical veil. The crew carefully navigated through an archway, entering what appeared to be a great hall carved from stone, walls adorned with strange symbols and frescoes depicting an ancient civilization intertwined with the ocean's creatures. Sarah studied the frescoes closely. This civilization wasn't just advanced, they revered the ocean as a living entity. But something went terribly wrong. Suddenly, a tremor shook the ruins. Dust and debris floated upwards as a hidden mechanism groaned to life. Marek's voice crackled urgently through the comms. "We've triggered something. We need to move, now." The submersibles accelerated as stone walls began to shift, sealing passageways and forcing the crew deeper into the labyrinth. Liam's mind raced. The ocean's guardian warned of a reckoning. Were these ruins a tomb or a prison? In the flickering light, a door sealed shut behind them and a choice loomed. Turn back to the safety of the surface or delve further into the abyss's dark heart. The air inside the submersible felt heavier, charged with a strange energy as Liam stared at the glowing chamber ahead, the heart of the ancient ruins. The walls pulsed with bioluminescent veins, illuminating a vast mural depicting the rise and fall of the ocean's civilization, intertwined with humans and the sea's guardian. Sarah deciphered the ancient script aloud. They harnessed the ocean's power, but greed corrupted their hearts. The guardian was created to protect, but also to punish. Suddenly, the chamber trembled as the ocean's guardian appeared through the water, colossal, but now sorrowful rather than menacing. "You must decide," the guardian's voice echoed. "Destroy the source of corruption or be consumed by it." Liam's heart pounded, the weight of 13 years, the crew's trust, and the ocean's future pressed down on him. With a deep breath, Liam extended his hand toward the glowing core. Energy surged through him, binding the guardian's power and his own will. A blinding light engulfed the chamber as the corruption was cleansed, the ruins beginning to crumble but the ocean's balance restored. As the crew ascended, the storm above had calmed. The ocean was peaceful once more, a fragile harmony regained. Liam knew his journey was only beginning, protector of a secret that could save or destroy humanity. Thanks for watching. If you're hooked on gripping stories like this, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more thrilling tales. Your support means the world to us. With love and gratitude, I invite you to join our community for more captivating content. Subscribe now for more stories that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Thank you.